Hi, if you're watching this video, you're either interested in or planning to conduct an ash tree inventory in your town using the Rural Roadside Ash Inventory tool. We at the Vermont Urban and Community Forestry Program team recognize the importance of accurately understanding the public ash tree population to plan for emerald ash borer management at the local level. So we've partnered with the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources Geographic Information Systems team to create this tool. Vermont UCF has outlined 3 levels of ash tree inventory protocols with varying intensity, and this tool is for level 2 inventory, meaning that it is detailed enough to collect data on specific trees or groups of trees, but it's not so detailed or labor intensive as our third option. If you haven't yet, check out our resources at vtcommunityforestry.org/ash-inventory to see what's included in our level 2 and our level 3 inventory tools, and make sure that this Rural Roadside Ash Inventory tool meets your town's goals and capacity. And if you think this tool will be helpful for your town, keep watching, and I'm going to lead you through a tutorial on how to use the app. And for that, I'm going to pretend that I'm going out to collect data for the day. I'm going to say my protocol is all set. I've talked with my team. I know exactly the kind of data I want to collect. I know this is the right tool for me, and I need to get ready to go out for the day and collect data. So the first thing you need to do is you need to download this app, which can be downloaded to any smartphone or tablet. And it's called ArcGIS Collector, and it's this one over on the right. That's the blue app with the little clipboard. So we go in there, and the first thing you have to do is you have to log in. So we're going to use ArcGIS Online, and you have to be connected to Wi-Fi for this to work. And the username that we're going to use for this tool is FPR for Forest Parks and Recreation Partner, and the password is work together with a capital W and a 0 for the first O. And now we're signed in, and you can see the 2 maps you have access to under this account. So obviously we're going to focus on the Roadside Ash Inventory map. And before you head out for the day, you have to download a map onto your tablet. And that's because when you go out into the field, you might not have internet access, so you won't be able to access our online options. So you have to download a map to your tablet, and it'll be stored there until you decide to remove it later. So to download a map, you click this blue cloud with an arrow down, and we're going to choose imagery with labels for the base map. Sometimes this happens, and all you have to do is use the same username and password you did at the beginning. So FPR partner, and work together. And the first thing you have to do is you have to choose your work area. And obviously I don't need all of this in my map. There's no way I'm going to go from Canada to Cape Cod in one day. So you just use it to where you need to go. And I am currently at work at the National Life Building, so I'm going to center mine around that area. I'm going to get the rest of Montpelier in, pretend I'm going very far in my day. Great, so that looks good. And then the next thing you have to do is you have to pick your map detail, and that's basically just how far you can zoom in while you're in the field. And the larger your file size, the longer it will take to download. So if you're on kind of bad Wi-Fi, you might want to keep it a smaller size and less zoomed in. And since I'm not really going out for the day, I'm just going to keep it like this. I don't really need anything very detailed. So now I'm ready to download. So in the upper right, I click download. And once it starts downloading, this blue bar will start going across the screen, and we'll join back in once it's done. Okay, so now the map is downloaded, and you can tell because it says downloaded on 10/4/18. And I'm going to pretend I'm headed outside, so I'm going to shut my Wi-Fi off. And even though I don't have any service, I can go to the on device, and I see that my one map is downloaded, and I've got it ready to go. So, quick disclaimer, when you're out in the field and you have multiple devices running, getting different sets of data, those devices are not going to communicate with each other. So say I'm collecting data and my friend Susie is collecting data. I'm only going to see my data on my device. I'm not going to see Susie's data. But at the end, when we sync our data, then we should be able to see everybody's data. But just while you're out in the field and you don't have service, just keep in mind if you're not seeing everybody else's data, that's okay. So I'm going to pretend now that I'm outside and I'm seeing an ash tree I want to tag and I want to get data on. So the first thing I do is I open my map. Great, and I see there I am. There's my little blue dot right in on National Life, and let's pretend there's an ash tree right in front of me. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press this blue plus sign in the upper right. There's a couple choices right off the bat. You're either going to choose yes and flag it for priority removal or no. I'm going to pretend that this is a large ash tree that already looks half dead, so I'm going to flag it for priority removal because that is what was detailed in my protocol with my team. So I'm going to say yes for priority removal. And it's trying to acquire location. I'm currently inside on the bottom floor, so it's having a tough time getting a very specific accuracy. You can see it's required 30 feet accuracy. It can only get accuracy to 213 right now. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it, obviously, because this isn't real data. So I'm going to press cancel. But if you're out in the field, you can press retry, and it will get a more accurate location, and it will save your data to that specific location. Okay, so now I'm in my feature. I'm looking at the ash tree. The first thing you have to do is you have to say what the date is, and you do have to do this on every point. And you definitely want to keep the date for when you're collecting the data, because if you need to go back and change something, it helps a lot to know when the data was collected. And the count is pretty basic. It's just how many trees you're putting in this one piece of data. So I'm going to say it's 2 ash trees right next to each other. So the count is 2. And I said it was a big tree, so I'm going to say the diameter class is 12 to 24 inches. So that is an estimation of the diameter of the tree at around breast height. The condition is a little bit more subjective. That is basically just how well the tree is doing, what condition the tree is in at the time. And I said it was half dead, so I'm going to say the condition is poor. Good condition would be it has almost a full canopy, meaning it has 75 to 100% cover of leaves, no significant defects. Fair is a thinning canopy, which means it's 50 to 75% full. There's little new growth, there's some defects, or the foliage is off color. Poor is declining, so it's only 25 to 50% of tree cover. There may be visible dead branches, significant dieback, or severe defects. Dead is pretty clear. Obviously, no signs of life. No green, no leaves. And then vacant is an empty spot, so it's a place that a potential tree could go into, or if a tree was recently removed. That's what vacant would mean. So I'm going to say it's a half-dead tree, so it'll be poor. Next is roadside type, and those options are ROW, which means right of way, so that's usually like right near the sidewalk. Private, meaning it's on a private lawn, or utility, which means it's near a utility line. I'm going to say it's right, it's on a private land since it's right by National Life. So that would be private. And then the next thing is town. So that's pretty straightforward, whatever town you're in. And the great thing about this app is instead of having to scroll for every town, you can use this filter option at the top, and you can start typing in your town. Oops. And it'll give you some more options, and then you don't have to scroll. Then you press done.